Hello?
Hey, this is Caleb Christopher.
Hey, Caleb. Thanks for giving me a call.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
so I haven't done one with holding with anyone yet. So he just joined Sub 2 as well. But
Sure.
my main thing is have you done this before where you're like funding anything to close and then I mean with the cash flow on this one, I think you can get upwards towards 1,000 a month.
Nice.
Do you do like say 3,500 to close, maybe it's well, maybe 5 grand to close if I'd fund that. Would you make it where you take a larger percentage of the cash flow until to pay off towards that uh, the closing costs I would fund?
So you're talking about you're bringing all the capital to the deal?
Yeah, correct. I mean, I might do private money. I can fund the rehab as well. He's 4.5 hours away from it in Texas, but
Yeah.
I'm in Wisconsin, so I generally don't want to hold anything out of state where both people are farther away. But this one's zero down, not much into it, and the cash flow is crazy on it. So
Yeah. So this
yeah,
is a
30
Texas
years
property?
too. So yeah.
Okay, I just want to be clear that you already understand the tax rates in Texas, yes or no?
Yeah, we just talked to the seller on this one, but I don't have all the information. I mean, I haven't even looked at
Okay.
the comps on it yet, but
It depends on the
so
value of the house, but I have seen tax bills change the cash flow on a Texas house
right.
by more than $400 to $600 a month. That's on the more
Okay, yeah.
expensive ones where somebody is a veteran. So if somebody's is a veteran, they get a veteran's exemption, which is practically a stink ton of money that they're not paying in taxes. And then they've got homestead exemption. So if you're not a homestead buyer, you're not living in it, and you're not the veteran, well, you got to have both. You got to be the homestead to take the veteran's exemption. And then
Yeah.
and
21 it was 1429.
it was, huh?
1429 for taxes and for last year.
The entire year. What's the value of the property?
Uh the purchase price was 45, ARV is 55 to 70.
Yeah, all right. You're okay, I think. The taxes might go up, but you can look up what the actual tax rate should be, or you can call the county and say, "Hey, I'm looking at buying such and such address. Can you tell me what, as a non-homestead buyer, what my tax bill is going to be next year if I buy it for 54, 45K?" And they should be able to
Right.
calculate that for you. Just make sure you add that into your pro forma. Um,
Right.
so you're asking how to do the JV with your partner there?
I'm wondering more of, yeah, like funding the deal. Like, what would you, I mean, we're 50/50ing it in general, but I'm coming with the close. Do you do something where, say, the cash flow is, just for general purposes, a grand? Would you put, so that 5 grand, would you take a bigger chunk of it where you do 750, 250, and then have that 250 go for 20 months to fund that 5,000? Because you're
No, I
also going
mean,
to have
oh well,
oh,
yeah, okay. So if you're not getting paid back that amount, then maybe. But so one of the
because
really
it's just
easy ways to get
cash
started
flow.
is if somebody brings the deal and somebody funds the deal, then 50-50 is pretty easy and you guys don't have to argue. You just have to accept the numbers and be okay with it. But
He
if,
brought me the deal.
yeah,
It was, I structured it with them, so I closed it.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, I plan on doing more with him.
yeah,
He does nationwide.
I was gonna say you might could squeeze that one for a little bit more, but um, I mean, especially if you can finance the entire entry fee just under your own name or something like that. Nah, I'd go 50-50 and just keep it simple.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Like, because the payoff on that, then I mean, obviously, I'm cash flowing it at only 5 grand in, but we're gonna have private money then most likely because I'll probably do that. So you would
Well, so then
in
I would say take a 50-50 split of the net profits. Now, if you want to finance your 5 grand to the LLC that you form with him and say, I'll take $200 a month payments on my 5 grand, then you have $800 a month profit to split.
gotcha.
And you could say, I'm
So
willing to
after
contribute this at 0% interest, but I want it paid back.
right.
And then you're
Okay.
still 50-50 in the deal, which seems really fair and easy to handle, but you're
Hmm.
also recovering your entry fee, which seems pretty fair and easy to handle.
Right. Would you do a separate, just create a new LLC for this since it's
Yes.
going to be a holding it? Right.
Yes, do not do a JV with someone that you're buying and holding without a separate LLC and a pretty good
Right.
operating agreement. Your operating agreement needs to cover who can exit, when, how, under what conditions, right of first refusal, inheritance slash,
Do you think, right.
all that.
Do you think we should run that through whoever we're gonna close with? This one's in Orange, Texas.
No,
I
that
don't
won't
even
matter.
know who.
The LLC formation. I mean, I would go with PCS, right? I don't have any reason to go anywhere else for LLC formation and operating agreement, but have somebody else review your operating agreement to make sure it's legit the way you want it to be. And that could take a little bit to form, right? They'll probably want to set some appointments and make sure the two of you figure stuff out. Who's got the controlling
Right.
interest? If I were you, I'd be concerned about, too many cooks in the kitchen. It really needs to be one person involved. But then in a partnership situation, I'm not going to let us self-manage. We're going to hire somebody else to be the property manager, which means a little bit less profit for us. But that's too bad, so sad, because we can always fire somebody. You can't fire a partner. You can fire a vendor. So
Okay.
if you don't like your property manager, the two of you can just say, this person sucks, get him out of here. But if you suck, or if your partner sucks, that sucks a
Right.
lot, right? So make sure you guys
Right.
opt for business relationship preservation. And then if you're going to go buy and do JVs with other people, you should have a different JV or a different LLC for each person you JV with at a minimum, if not also per property.
And that's where I'm following that model with. I mean, that's why I joined Sub 2 in the first place, to the JV this, and I've just been, you're doing that too. But are you doing mostly assignments on yours?
Mostly, I'll cherry pick. I won't.
Or
I
are you-
usually, it'd be a rare bird that I actually consider JVing with somebody else. I'd rather take an assignment
Okay.
fee than get tied down to somebody else. The whole
Right.
do not be unequally yoked, both in marriage and business. I'm like, nah, probably not worth it.
Right. Well, you're paying an assignment fee to take them down yourself, or you're saying more of selling them on once you get them wrapped up
So somebody
creatively?
brings me a deal that's a creative deal. They've already disqualified cash, realtors, and keeping it for the seller. Then I will negotiate and close it on creative terms, and we'll wholesale that contract unless I'm going
Right.
to cherry pick the deal for myself. Right. So if there's a $15,000 assignment fee and I decide to cherry pick the deal, it'll be with the permission of the partner. If they don't want me to buy the deal, that's fine. I'd rather honor the relationship than anything else. But I would just
What are your guidelines for your assignment on those? So, like, for instance, this one, I mean, it's more of a cash flow heavy deal versus, it's a lower
yeah,
value property.
yeah.
How would you determine that on this one?
I'm I'm 50% of the whatever the deal is for me to come in and close it. So if we're going to wholesale it and there's a $15,000 assignment fee, for example, I'm going to take 7,500. Now, if I cherry pick the deal, I will not take my assignment fee and let the other person, and then I'll make sure that my purchase includes a $7,500 assignment fee payment to the person who brought it to me. So they still get their half.
I guess I'm saying for how you underwrite it to
Mhm.
determine that assignment fee. That's what I'm getting at as far as the
Yeah.
what you look to assign it
Hey,
for.
let me call you back. I got another call coming in.
Okay.